Week after week after week, you guys watch these videos. Please leave a comment, question, or just anything down below. Anytime during the video where you can interject, maybe you have some advice for me, whatever, put it down below and I'll get back to you guys. Motivation, it can be a very tricky thing. The motivation for fighters, it can range from family to money to personal goals that they have set out for themselves. The motivations or where motivation comes from for a fighter, the same can be said about distractions, family, money, goals set out for themselves. That can derail you. Those things can derail you from the ultimate goal, which is to step inside the cage and win the fight. It doesn't matter if it's a submission, a knockout, a decision, whatever. Only thing that matters at the end of the day is that you win. Leading up to all of that, motivation can play a factor and distractions can play a factor. And I felt that myself, I've been distracted by certain things the past couple of weeks and letting things overwhelm me. Or one of the main things that has been distracting me the last couple of weeks is just some family things, just some family issues, with my daughter and her health. And it is something that I'm really concerned about. It's not just like one thing. There's multiple things going on, especially me being away from my family and from my daughter. A big part of me doing this is to show my daughter that at any age, no matter the circumstances, that you could go out there and you could accomplish goals. You can do, what you set out yourself to do. You put the effort into it, and that's part of the motivation, a big part of the motivation. Also, it's part of my job. I signed up for this, so I have to complete the task. That's what work is all about. It's about getting a task and completing it, right? And then moving on to the next one. So this is just one of the tasks at hand. The distractions, right? So last week I had a good week of training, I thought. I had a couple times where I felt fatigued or tired, or I didn't feel like I wanted to be out there. And there's many moments where I didn't feel like going there and training. Throughout the week. There's many moments. It's not like every time my alarm goes off for like a class or a session that I have to do, and every time I'm just like, oh yeah, let's fucking go, let's do it. I'm a fucking fighter. No, it's not like that. It's rarely like that. Like I rarely see anybody in the gym that's just like going fully like alpha mailed out. You see it once in a while and they look like fucking idiots, but you rarely see it. The most of the people that will be able to kill you in an instant don't act like they can kill you in an instant. All right, so that kind of gives you a little bit into where my head was at the last couple of weeks, and trying to balance all that out. Dealing with what's going on with my daughter, training, and staying healthy, on top of being able to do my work as a MMA media member or journalist or reporter or whatever you want to call me, whatever I'm doing, to spread the sport, to spread the love. Monday started out really well, actually. I woke up and I went to BJJ class. It's just like a normal Monday. You wake up and you feel good. I felt really good compared to the past couple of Mondays. I felt really good. So I go to BJJ class, I do the techniques, do the drills, and had a lot of fun, actually. Had a lot of fun and enjoyed the class, enjoyed drilling with the people that I was drilling with, and I gained a lot of confidence from that class. It seems like certain classes you go to and you don't really expect too much. You expect to learn, you expect to sweat, you expect to work, but you're not going in there expecting to gain confidence. I feel like I gained a lot of confidence on top of doing the drills and everything. I did spar for a couple of rounds because I felt really well, and I did okay. It's not like I was counting like submissions or whatever, but I rolled around it and I felt good about the class, and the session that we had. So a few hours later, you go back home, you rest up, and I had another appointment with the physio. The hip, it didn't really bother me too much during the jujitsu session, but you still gotta go to the doctor and get it checked out. So when I went there, I was kind of surprised because she started to work on the right side of my back, or sorry, the right hip area rather than the left hip area, which the left hip area is the one that hurts. The right hip doesn't hurt at all. But once she started to go deeper and deeper and deeper into the tissue, the pain was just as excruciating as the left side. So she went in there, I guess it's all connected, the muscles. So she went in there, she did her thing. Working on the right side is gonna definitely help on the left side. So she went over to the left side, worked on the left side. After the session was over, after the machines, had a couple machines that she attached me to, and afterwards I felt great. I felt too good, to be honest with you, because after that, I went home, I took a nap, and because I just felt like drained. And when I woke up, I still felt drained and basically just skipped. Tuesday in the morning, I just worked on my MMA stuff and then went to wrestling at 4 o'clock. This was like my first wrestling class. I've been here for weeks and weeks, and I've known about the wrestling the whole time. It's just I've never gotten around to actually being in the class and mixing it up. There's a lot of fear to that. Everybody always tells me wrestling is the hardest part of MMA, of training MMA. It's the most grueling, the most injury prone, all of that stuff. Nothing Only thing that's positive about wrestling is that you will be a better fucking fighter. You will be able to control people on the ground. Wrestling dictates where the fight is played out. That's the benefit. Having Frank and George, the Hickman brothers, back together in the class is a huge benefit for everybody. Hump day. So on hump day, I wake up and usually I'm thinking like, okay, how does my body feel? And my body was not 100%. It was not 90%, So the first 2 days, Monday, Tuesday, I went to grappling in the morning and then I went to wrestling. On Wednesday, I wake up, my neck is sore. Particularly the left side of my neck, the back left side right here in the back, this side, my neck was sore. And I knew this was coming, right? I knew this was coming. I knew that this would be that's something that I have to deal with is anytime you do any kind of like grappling, your neck is going to be sore for a while, especially in the beginning. So, I had to deal with that. The hip flaring up a little bit, but nothing too serious. I went to morning jiu-jitsu. So you go to morning jiu-jitsu. I did all the technique stuff, but since my neck was so sore, like I was doing this, like this shit. Like, what? Like, what? That shit. I was doing that shit. So I just skipped sparring. I didn't spar and basically went home just to rest up because there was MMA technique class in the evening. Now, with MMA technique class every Wednesday, I recommend it to anybody that's training MMA or, striking or whatever. I just recommend that class because you could go into the class, learn something, drill it, and, you're going to sweat and it's not going to be easy, but your body's not going to take that much, impact. Your body's not going to take that much impact. So it's a good class to start with. Wednesdays, 4 p.m. MMA technique. This week, we did a bunch of stuff. Takedowns. We did controlling on the ground. A lot of wall work, with the wrestling and positioning and getting out of positions, getting out of like avoiding getting trapped against the fence. A lot of stuff a lot of intricate stuff that Frank and George, detail, and it was very educational. There's a lot of stuff. Like one thing that's tricky is that you have to move your feet while you're moving your hands. Like this might sound easy, but it's not as easy as you think, especially if you're facing somebody that is doing the opposite of what you're doing. The person is resisting what you are doing. So, it's hard just doing it by yourself, but having someone resist is even harder. I felt great. I was moving well. Takedowns, still need to work on that. Defense, still need to work on that. I got to work with a very good training partner. Someone that just walked into the gym. I don't know who this person is. Pretty much the whole practice was him and me drilling with each other, and he was very helpful. He understood that I told him I'm not a fighter. He actually asked me if I what weight class I fight at, and I told him I'm not a fighter. So he kind of took it. I don't know if he took it light, but he was much more careful with what he was doing with me, and he was giving me tips, and I really enjoyed it. Shout out to this guy. Thursday, I woke up feeling good, not too much pain in the neck, um, the hip not really hurting at all. Feeling great. You know what I mean? Fitness class, go in there 5 by 5. What can I say about fitness 5 by 5? I think like if you can get through the fitness Thursday fitness class 9 a.m. 5 rounds, 5 minutes, 5 different exercises every round, and you could get through it and still have enough energy to run around the gym, then I, I believe that you have phenomenal cardio, phenomenal. And there's people in the class that have phenomenal cardio. They're not fighters, but they just have phenomenal cardio. So if I got in a fight with one of them, do you think I'll be able to kill them? I don't know. They have good cardio, but I think I have enough knowledge of choking people in BJJ to be able to kill them. No, I don't want to kill nobody. I don't know why I even said that. So after the fitness class, I went to the sauna. Something that I want to do a couple times a week. Uh, but I made the mistake of going during the day. With saunas, I think it's best to go at night after you're done with all your work. So this time I made a mistake. I went during the day. Woody, the SNC coach, he met me over there, and he brought some of this stuff called Sweet Sweat. I believe they sponsor the UFC. It's for sweating basically. What I mean, you rub this lotion type stuff on whatever part of your body you want to sweat and step into the sauna, and that's what we did. Rubbed it all on my arms, on my back, on my stomach, on my legs, and did a couple sessions in and out of the sauna. It was hard, man, and I sweated like a pig. Even when I got back to my place, I was still sweating like an hour later, 2 hours later, like heavily sweating, which shows you that sweet sweat works. I never used it before in my life, and that was the first time, and I recommend it to anybody that wants to sweat more during their sauna sessions. Sweet sweat. Go get that. Went back home, got some rest, ate something, 5 o'clock, strength and conditioning, deadlifts. Just like wrestling, this was my first class for deadlifts, and I think this is the only strength and conditioning class I will take during the week, starting next week, because deadlifts are probably the most important, right, for getting strong. And there's a multitude of exercises that they go through, but deadlift is probably it is the focus of the class, and I think I'll benefit like with much more strength, but also benefit on how to do the exercises. So if I want to continue with this type of workout, I know what to do. And shout out to Shaw and Woody for a phenomenal class. Friday Friday was another busy day. Did some work in the morning and then went to go hit mitts with George. The mitt session, they're always good. They're always different. You know what I mean? I always find something that I'm doing wrong. I always find something that I'm making a mistake with. It's very rare when I step into like a full on combination and then it just rips through perfectly. I'm always making some kind of mistake, either with my hands, either with just throwing the wrong punch, either with accuracy, foot positioning, balance. There's so much shit to striking. I think it's harder than fucking grappling. At least grappling could slow it down. Striking, I don't know if you could slow it down. You know what I mean? If the guy wants to go hard, he's going hard. But yeah, there's so much shit to go to work on. You know what I mean? Like I'm starting to figure out that if someone can start training MMA and take a fight with confidence within a couple of months, that is just a complete savage because at this point of my training, I can go in this weekend and fight somebody. No problem. Wrap my hands, go in there and brawl. That's it. Go in there and brawl. That is it. But to properly do it, it takes some time, and it makes you think more about like how good you are at fighting actually. And I feel like I fucking suck. Hopefully that changes and as the weeks go more and more and more, but I don't know. I don't know if it's going to change. A lot of times I'm having fun and sometimes I'm not. I'm a person that has a difficult time hiding my emotions on my face. So if I'm not feeling it, I'm not feeling it. If it's funny, it's funny. You know what I mean? I'm not like holding back. So so if you see me around the gym, you'll probably know if I'm like in a mood or not. But I might look like I'm like pissed off, but I'm really not pissed off. I'm just, tired or fatigued or whatever, but that's all it is. After the mid session, I went to go visit the physio. She worked on the middle of my back this time. There's some tightness in the middle of my back, and she worked on that, and she also worked on my hip, and and I felt good going into the weekend. You know what I mean? The pain is starting to get less and less and less and less and less in my hip, to almost to the point where it's like there's not much pain at all. So we'll see in the next couple of days. We'll see in the next couple of weeks how it goes. Next week, I'm gonna have the physio start to work on my shoulder to see if she can improve my shoulder, because when I do throw punches, when I do throw punches, punches, when I do throw punches on impact, boom, on impact, my shoulder hurts. Left side, well, right side is worse than the left side, so I'm gonna have the physio work on that. Friday, I also skipped MMA class because I felt exhausted. Peace and love. And if this helps you start your own journey on whatever you want to accomplish, on whatever you want to do, then I've accomplished my goal. A big part of it is to motivate people, is to inspire people, and to learn more about myself, and to learn more about fighting, and learn more about mixed martial arts, and everything that is intertwined with that. So for everybody that watches, leave a comment, leave a question, a message, anything that you want down below, and I'll get back to you guys. So until next week, have fun and be safe, and definitely don't drink and drive.